Hello, welcome to this video where I'll be guiding you through your very own grief ceremony. My name is Cami. I am a certified grief coach and a craniosacral therapist, and I am here to show you a technique that I did for myself when I really needed a way to hold space for my grief and to feel all the feelings in a way that was just a little bit more structured and felt sacred to me. I started doing this kind of unknowingly when my grief would come up, and in those moments where you really just can't do anything else besides feel and experience what is washing over you. And when I would find myself in these moments, I had the urge to just sort out everything that was jumbled in my mind, all of the feelings I was experiencing in my body. So naturally, I started writing things down because I'm someone that likes lists and likes to process by writing. So I started writing on these little post-it notes that I had and collecting them into a container. And that's how this grief bowl ceremony started, was that I kept returning to this practice of very simply just naming what was going on in my mind, in my body, in my soul, all of the grief, all of the emotions that I was feeling, maybe those memories that were coming up for me, specific people or places that I just really needed to sit with. And in doing so, by creating that time and space to sit with everything that I was experiencing, I noticed that that really helped my grief and my energy shift by creating that time and space to witness and to feel and to process and integrate what was coming up for me. I was really supporting myself in my journey, and I noticed that as I was reflecting on the things that I was writing down through this practice, that my grief was changing and evolving, and I was able to witness that unfolding in a way that felt very sacred. So, I'm here to share this practice with you because it has been super transformational for me in my journey, and I'm hoping that it'll do the same for you. So, for this grief ceremony, what you will need is a quiet, safe space, a space where you can sit uninterrupted. I recommend usually, maybe a living room where if you're home alone and you have that space to yourself, that's perfect. Otherwise, you might want to put yourself in your bedroom space where you can kind of tuck yourself away for a while. Otherwise, I like to do this practice in a safe place in the woods out in nature. That feels very supportive for me as well. The other things that you will need are a bowl of some kind. For me, I have these beautiful bowls that my friend makes by hand, and I include them in a little grief ceremony kit that I'll share more information later after this video. So you'll need a bowl of some kind. It doesn't have to be anything special. It can just be a kitchen bowl. I like to make them intentional, so I've used this handmade bowl for my friend. You will need slips of paper. I have cut these papers into different sizes so that I can have some smaller ones and some larger ones, depending on what's coming up for me. And then you'll need a writing utensil of some kind, pens, markers, whatever feels good. And then I also recommend that you gather comfort items. So maybe you make yourself a warm chamomile tea or something that would be nice and calming and soothing to you. Maybe have a glass of water. Otherwise, if you have candles or incense or essential oils that feel supportive for you, go get those and surround yourself with all of those things that make you feel safe and at home. And anything else that you might need to turn to when you know that you're going to be having some strong emotions that come up. All of these things are optional and, of course, totally personalized based on what you need for yourself. So go ahead and gather those items, whatever you need to support yourself with. I also recommend gathering if you have photos or mementos of a loved one, maybe, clothing items that feel comforting or soothing that help you connect with your person. I love to have photos, maybe with a candle lit beside them, just to bring that energy of your person into the space with you. So, once you have what you need and you are all set up to begin the ceremony, then we will step into this next part, which is going into the ceremony itself. All right, so let's begin. Start by finding yourself in a nice, comfortable position. You can be sitting up or laying down, whatever's most comfortable for you. And I invite you, if you feel safe in doing so, to close your eyes and just start to shift your attention to your breath. Maybe you start by taking a few deep, gentle breaths in through the nose and out the mouth. And if it feels good, take a sigh as you exhale. 2 more like this, breathing deeply in through the nose and an exhale out the mouth. And 1 more at your own pace. Breathing in deeply, the biggest breath you've taken all day. And an exhale to release. Empty everything out completely. Get all that stale air out of your lungs. And now just allowing the breath to return to its natural ebb and flow. Just gently breathing in and out at a pace that feels comfortable for you. With each breath, follow the flow of air into your chest and into your heart space. So as you take your next inhale, follow that cool breath in through the nostrils, down the throat, into the lungs, feeling that expansion of the chest and the belly as you breathe in. And noticing that gentle contraction as you breathe out, feeling that warm air leaving the nose. And as you follow this tidal wave of the breath, coming and going, inflating the chest and the lungs like a wave, and an exhale, imagining that this wave is receding away from the shores. As an inhale, the breath washes over you, and an exhale to release as the breath washes away from the shores. And as you breathe, take a few moments to do a body scan. Maybe starting from the very top of the head, softening through the muscles of the face, softening through the eyes, relaxing through the jaw and the tongue. And noticing the throat. And just observing any sensations that might be in the throat or in the neck. Allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears, letting the arms be heavy. And bringing your attention to the very center of the chest. Feeling the heart beating within the chest. And just noticing any feelings or sensations that might be here. Breathing into your heart space. Just noticing what might be residing within this part of the body. Using the breath to soften any tension or any stress that you might be holding on to here. And now breathing deeply into the belly, bringing your attention down into the abdomen, feeling into all of your organs that are here within your torso and just noticing what you feel in this space. breathing deep down into the belly, allowing the breath to massage your organs, to soften through the belly. And just feeling your torso rise and fall as that breath washes over you. Now noticing the hips and the pelvis, and bringing your breath all the way down into these hip points and the space between the hips. And just noticing how this part of your body feels. We often hold a lot of emotions and tension within the hips. So just turning inward to observe how your hips are doing. How do you feel within this container of the body? Working your way down through the legs, allowing those large muscles of the legs to be still and to soften. All the way down through the knees, through the calves, down towards the ankles and the very soles of the feet and each of the toes. And if your feet are pressed against the floor, just take a moment to feel that connection to the ground, to feel that support of the earth underneath the body. And now breathing with this full body breath, breathing as if your whole body breathes, all the way from the tips of the toes to the very top of the head, feeling the breath move through your whole body, up and down, side to side, front and back. With each exhale, feel yourself breathing in this fresh energy, this oxygen. And as you exhale, feel that gentle release, a softening with each cycle of the breath. And just resting here with your breath and with your body, allowing yourself to be held by the earth, by the chair, or by the bed. Whatever is holding up your body, allow yourself to melt into that support, to see if you can consciously relax just a little bit more, and see what would happen if you would relax even just by 1% more. And as you hold this presence with yourself, with your body, and with the breath, take a moment to identify what is taking up space within you right now. Noticing those places of tension, noticing those places where your body might be holding on to something. Where do you feel these emotions in your body? Where do you feel these energies in your body? Where does your body hold your grief? And just allowing anything to surface, allowing any insight or wisdom to come up for you as you reflect and as you notice. And there's no right or wrong way of doing this. Just practicing, observing, practicing, holding some presence for yourself here. Just noticing this inner landscape of how you be in this moment. Noticing any textures, any sensations, any feelings, any colors. And noticing where you feel these in your body. or maybe outside of your body, in this energetic field that is you here, breathing, existing, and mapping out that internal landscape of who you are and what you bring with you in this moment. So just allowing yourself to rest here for a couple moments longer, just noticing, just holding yourself here, resting, breathing. And when you feel ready, start to gently deepen your inhales and your exhales. Starting to breathe in a little bit of energy, a little bit of awareness. Just gently starting to come out of this deep rest. Maybe you invite in some gentle movements through the fingers and toes, and starting to feel those places where you are connected to the ground underneath you, those places where your body makes contact with the chair or the bed, or even the clothing on your skin, just noticing those physical sensations of your location, where you are in time and space here in this moment. And starting to notice any sounds around you. And when you feel ready, you can blink the eyes open in your own time, starting to come back into your space. Okay. Now, once you have come back into your room, maybe take a moment to look around and orient yourself to where you are. Now find your bowl and your slips of paper and your pen, and just simply start to write down what your experience was like. Doing this body scan meditation, writing down anything and everything that you felt. And as you write down on your slips of paper what you brought with you to this exercise, all the things that are here within you now, just name them, write them down, and then place them into your bowl. Allow this bowl to be a physical representation of your grief, of your body, of all of the things that you carry with you today. So as you name and write down and acknowledge your grief, your feelings, all of those things that you noticed within your body, whether they're emotions, maybe they're memories, writing them down and placing them into the bowl, allowing the bowl to hold them for you, allowing this writing exercise to be a sort of detox, if you will, or an opportunity to lighten the load, an opportunity to take that energy that you noticed in your body, all of those feelings, all of those emotions, all of those sensations, all the things that you were holding on to, those stressors and tensions that you carry, and to dump them onto the paper, dump them into your grief bowl, to allow them to move, to allow this energy to move outside of yourself, to be held by this bowl as a container for you so that you don't have to hold all of it right now. So continue with this process for as long as you need, just writing down everything that's on your heart, writing down everything that is on your mind or in your body today. And it could be good things as well. You might notice that there's a lot of grief or sadness or pain that you're noticing here, and that's normal and that's totally okay. So, acknowledging that and recognizing that, holding space for that experience. And if you notice any of those glimmers as well, you might notice feelings of relief. You might notice those feelings of relaxation, of feeling soft and gentle with yourself, maybe a sense of ease or kindness that you carry with you as well through this process. Acknowledging any of those feelings or sensations as well. And perhaps writing those on these slips of paper and allowing your grief bowl to hold that for you as well. Another thing that I would encourage you to do as you are in this process of processing and naming your grief and everything that you bring with you today through this exercise is to think about the things that you would like to set intentions for. So maybe you don't feel that sense of kindness or compassion that you would like to feel. Maybe you set an intention and write that down on your paper as well, that you would like to feel peace, or you would like to feel a sense of softness for yourself when these things come up. To write down your hopes and your wishes, to write down those things that you pray will manifest for you in the future, to plant those seeds of intentions in your grief bowl as well. And remember to breathe and remember to pause when you need to take a break and to drink your water and to cry as much as you need to cry and to find those comfort items to support you in this process. Know that there is no wrong way to do this. This is for you, and you get to decide what is best for you. So continue writing and processing and feeling for as long as you need to until you have reached a sense of completion for now, until you feel like you need to be finished for now. And then take a moment to look at your bowl and all of those slips of paper, everything that you're holding, and to just acknowledge that you're holding a lot, you're carrying a lot with you, and that's okay. But to give yourself some grace and some patience and some kindness for everything that you are holding, everything that you are carrying and going through right now at this point in time in your journey. And to honor that and to allow this bowl to act as that representation for you to help you move through your grief. So you might return to this practice anytime you need to. And as you return to your grief bowl, notice how your grief evolves over time. So you might return to these slips of paper that you've placed in there. And you might go back and you might read them and see how your journey has shifted over time. If that which you have placed in your bowl previously, if that still resonates for you, or maybe if it doesn't fit any longer, if that's no longer something that's on your heart, or maybe something that you don't feel anymore, to take it out of your bowl. And when you take something out of your bowl, I encourage you to have some kind of a ritual or an acknowledgement for how your grief has changed, how you are changing and shifting along this journey. So for me, I like to burn my pieces of paper safely, of course, do that in a safe way, and to release that energy, to honor that part of your journey and how things have changed for you. And coming back to your grief bowl, putting new things in and taking things out will help you to have some awareness and some presence with yourself through your grief and through this journey. And you'll be able to see how things are changing. And you might be able to see patterns of things that are recurring and continuously coming up for you as well. And my goal is that through this sense of awareness and through this presence, that you are creating that time and that space for this grief tending, for this sacred time that you're spending with yourself and your loved one and all of your feelings. And that in that process of sitting and feeling and processing in this way, that this will help you on your journey of navigating this life after loss with whatever it is that's coming up for you at whatever time in your life, that this will be a supportive practice for you that you can return to when you just need some time for yourself, some time for your grief, and some time for processing and integrating. So that's what this process is like. I would love to hear from you to see how this went. Normally, I like to do these ceremonies in a circle with other people so that we can see and witness one another. So I hope to lead those in the future. If you're in my area, I hope we can gather and do this together in community. Otherwise, it's totally okay if you're doing this on your own, in your own home, or maybe you have some friends that you might gather and do a little ceremony with your own community. So you're welcome to do this, to share this exercise and this practice with other people. It is my hope that this spreads and ripples out into the world as you sit with your grief bowl and use this tool for some grief processing. My blessings to you as you work through all of this and as you sit with yourself. I know it's not easy. And just know that I am here as a support for you. If you need any additional guidance or support on this journey, just know that I have lots to share with you and I'm always here for that process. Also, if you would like a little guidance on working through this grief bowl technique, I have a little kit that I put together that includes a bowl from my friend who makes these by hand. So they're all unique. And it also includes an essential oil blend. And these are all different as well, but there's a little prompt that goes with this blend that encourages you to connect with your loved ones. So it's another way that you can honor your loved one and infuse their energy into this practice. So there's a little prompt that goes with that as well. And then I also outline in a little, can you see that? There we go. In a little sheet, just how to do this on your own so that you don't have to necessarily watch this video. You can get the swing of it and just have a little step-by-step guideline of how to do this exercise. So if that's something that you might be interested in, I will offer the link to order one of these grief kits. I'll send you all of these supplies so that you have it with you on hand anytime you need to do this exercise. And these also make really great gifts for someone. If you know someone who's also going through something challenging, this might be a supportive little something to gift them. So if you have any questions or comments about any of this, please do let me know. I am always here for you, and just sending so much love and blessings to you on your journey. Thanks again. Take good care.